Aloha, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mr. John Remus, creator of the NewRelationships.com website. I want to share 10 ideas here about one's connection to money. Some things that you may have not heard. And first of all, we're dividing this into two categories. People who are trying to create their world and focus such that they can have the creative time and energy that they need in order to make great products and services and run companies. And so there are a number of things that I've discovered. I'm not suggesting, and then there's the other side. There's people who have enough money and they're doing things like investing and whatnot. But number one starts off with, and you may have heard this before, number one is what you do on a small scale, it'll influence what goes on in a large scale. So if the percentages of what you have, and by the way, I don't think anyone should be being charitable and with their time or money if they can't afford to meet their basic needs and have a comfortable life and also support a family. After you accomplish those elements, then I think it's suitable to extend yourself beyond to local and global communities. And of course, this is with the suggestion that you want to donate to local first, because for practical reasons, so that they won't. So if there's some poor people in your community and you're helping some people in, say, a third world country, then those poor people might directly either envy or attack you for what you have. So with that in mind, here are some things that one can do. You can first realize that it's easy to appreciate things and only buy what you can afford. So what that means is not be feeling like you need something in order to satisfy your identity, but rather being able to look around at people and things. And for example, I like to sometimes watch YouTube videos of luxurious properties and fancy cars, and that allows me to have some experience of wealth. But the point being that whatever you are creating and you want to create in your world, make sure you're doing it something that has meaning to you. But you can do all of that without money. For example, you can come up with ideas, share them with companies. Sometimes people do things for their own financial gain. They proceed with different ventures, and they buy things for their own satisfaction. And other times they just give away concepts and ideas in order for the world to be better, and in order for the future generations of the world to benefit and use their inventions, use whatever they come up with. So there's those aspects to it. But basically, you have it's really powerful to not need fancy cars and expensive food and everything in order to be happy. You can once you eat, for example, I like to eat oatmeal soaked in water for 5 or 10 minutes, and that is a satisfying sustenance. Or the things like ramen noodles, you can break them up and eat them like chips. They're like 25 cents a pack or whatever it is. It just, you know, your appetite can be fulfilled by things. Even things like, and although I'm not an advocate of prostitution or anything, just or any relationships that's not dream mate, because if it's not dream mate, then what is it, right? But whatever it is, if it's not about that, it'll be costly to you, and so basically, whether you're paying, somebody pays $400 for a prostitute, or they pay $100 a day, or whatever it is, to their quote-unquote wife who they don't really love, that is costly. But a simple thing such as regular masturbation can ensure that your sexual desire won't control your life. So part of it is, and if you want good energy and attention from people, you don't need expensive, costly things. You can realize that goal by dancing on the street and being friendly. You can realize a lot more attention. And if you want credibility and respect, then you can do that via simple things like dressing presentably and being reformed in your manner of speech and in your actions, and garner respect via the things you create, which are non-tangible. They're, you know, and also by doing various labors and works. You know, people might think that they need to have certain things like a house or car in order to have credibility. I don't think that's the case. Sometimes those can be indicative of something, but you know, basically, you know, just what you need. Here's a trick that you can use is to just look around at people, and as they walk by, and whatever bodies or wealths that they have, look at people's houses. Realize it's just it's just a shelter, a place to sleep, and it's not, and this isn't to say that fun goals shouldn't inspire you to be creative and have refined, sophisticated lives. But in order to achieve that, you know, you need to be on that same level. You know, you need to develop habits. People say develop habits. What does that mean? Like a lot of get rich people encourage to develop habits. What that means is you develop habit upon habit. Anything from putting your clothing on faster to a quick meal, like the oatmeal I speak of. It requires no preparation. All you do is pour oatmeal and water into a bowl, you know, and other things like one thing rich people do is, or we should say people who are accomplished, they eliminate distractions from their lives, and they don't feel like they need, you know, vacations and socializing in order to get something out of life. Maybe do that less frequently. So that's something else. But these little tricks, you know, these little tricks. And another thing is what you identify with. Like if you identify with an expensive, costly car, maybe you could rent one for a day. The point being that, you know, you'll get tired of it over a course of 3 month period or so. That's what statistics suggest. And then, you know, so and then the same goes for other things like wanting vacations, all this different types of stuff. It just basically it's social programming, and it can be enjoyable, right? But you can enjoy any type of thing, and it doesn't have to involve money. Like you might think, oh, I need to go on a vacation and ski. Well, you could get that same experience of getaway just going up on a mountain for a few days. So and so just things to think about, to to really feel good about not needing money, but rather it being a tool to create things that you think are worthwhile and that the world needs. Remember, that's the secret, though. But something that the world needs. That's the idea. Thanks for considering.